last one like that. I love this vibe.
Specific horror, scary movies.
Yeah.
Specifically M.Night Shyamalan movies. I'm a huge fan of his. So not all. I don't like mindless terror. I like psychological thrillers, and fortunately this movie is that.
You are the modern screen queen, but we know you don't like to watch a horror film at all, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't like them. I haven't seen enough of them because I don't like being scared. So I won't say that I don't like horror movies, but fear is it's not an emotion I do too well with.
How about watching the film for the first time? Did you cover your eyes a lot?
No, I mean, look, obviously you see your face on screen and your instant thought is, oh my God, I want to die. But, you know, it's quite exciting for me because I don't look in mirrors very much. And so when I watch the film for the first time, I also meet my character for the first time. And when you've been living in their head for such a long time and you form such a special relationship with your character and you really love them, you know, it's nice to be able to see them in the movie world where you've left them. You know, you kind of feel like, oh, hi Casey, nice to see you again. I mean, I think Knight and I talked a lot about if you reach a certain level of fear, it becomes generic fear, if that makes sense. You're so far gone that you're just one thing, whilst people are not like that. People are multifaceted. You don't always react to something scary by screaming, you know what I mean? You have to come from the place that the character's coming from and react the way that they react. And at the beginning it was difficult because sometimes, even if as Anya, you know, I was in a situation where I would cry, Casey wouldn't, if that makes sense. You have to come from their point of view, and that hopefully creates a very multifaceted performance, I hope.
Did you need to stay in scare mood?
I mean, during the takes, absolutely, but right before action or right after cut, I'm joking around. You know, you can't, or at least I can't. If you can do it, power to you, but I can't stay in that dark headspace the whole time. Because it's exhausting to be in that level of fear and anxiety at all times. You wouldn't be able to get through the work day. And so it's important to have breaks, you know, where you're at lunch or right before a scene where you're just joking around with your friends and you're having a good time with them. It makes it really enjoyable.
And how about the crying scene? You did a lot of crying scene. Was that easy for you?
I act from a place of empathy, and so I really feel for them, and that definitely makes the crying easier. It's obviously, you release a lot, you know, it's a form of catharsis where you can just kind of let go of everything, and at the end of the day you definitely end up tired, but you know you've done a good job, and that feels really great.
And how did you relax after all the exhausting acting?
Vegan truffle pizza. Vegan truffle pizza all the way, absolutely.
And action.
He's a master storyteller, and he has complete mastery over his craft as a filmmaker. The way he sets up the shots, the way he follows the story, it's fascinating to me. Like, did you see his movie The Visit?
Yes.
His last film. I just thought it was genius. And he also, and this is a very difficult thing to do. I've seen great playwrights try to be able to do this in theater, and it's really hard to have an audience laughing, and then turn it around on them and make them cry or scream in terror in the next moment. That's really hard to hold humor and drama in that perfect balance, and he can do that like nobody else. Like in The Visit, I was just like laughing and then, you know, completely charmed by the characters and the actors, and then the next minute I was terrified, you know. I think that's amazing. I think he's a genius of that. And so I'm a huge Shyamalan fan, obviously.
A lot of people and critics say you are coming back. What's your take on coming back?
It's a narrative. Everybody likes to tell stories. I think, you know, the proper way, I guess, to talk about that is that I'm making a formalistic adult thriller. And so in that way, that is a return to that kind of storytelling, which is accurate. You know, this is the first adult-driven thriller that I've made in a while.
We heard that he is very detailed director.
Yes, he wants it exactly the way he wants it, and he sees exactly the movie he's going to make, and he, you know, does things with great precision, and, you know, he's a perfectionist, so.
Can you change the line in any moment?
On some occasions I suggested that, and it was always like, well, let's try it. And then he would say, no, let's go back to the way I wrote it. And I was like, oh, okay, you know.
He's one of the few people I've worked with that is committed to the vision, the original vision he has in his mind, and doesn't really want that to alter too much during the filming process. So you end up in a situation where the thing that you read months before you see the final film is pretty much exactly what you see in the final film. The editing process isn't there to like rejigsaw the entire movie and turn it on its head. The filming process isn't there to go like, oh, what is this scene? I don't know. Should we just... Oh, that worked. Whatever you did, that worked. It's not what we originally thought, but it looked cool, so that's cool. None of that. It was getting exactly what he wanted on the page, and it shows a lot of commitment to his unique storytelling and his original storytelling, which is something that's fairly rare these days in the film industry. There's not a lot of original stories being told. So everything that's got an existing brand name almost, you know. And so I've got a lot of respect for him for that.
Would you ever regret any work you ever done?
No, you know, you have to be where you are. So for a while I went, you know, I had little kids and I made kids movies basically for 6-7 years. I made kids movies, kid-oriented movies, and that may not be what the audience wants, but that's where my headspace was, you know. I had little kids and now my kids are older, and so you can scare them. and so now we get to make these movies, and that's accurate. So you'll see the characters in my movies going from kids to preteens to teens to college age, and now basically I'm mimicking my life as the way I'm writing it. So there's no way you can undo part of your life. You know, whether the audience wants you to stay making guy-driven thrillers, well, now I'm making guy-driven thrillers again. You know what I mean? It's like...
And music is very important in your film, and you revisit your classic tunes from previous movie. That's the moment I get goosebumps. Can you tell a little bit about that?
I can't. But you talk about music, you mean? Yes, music in general, yeah. Well, in this case, the composer was a young man named Wes Dordson, who never composed a full-length movie before, from beginning to end. But I saw he'd done a TV show on HBO called The Jinx, which I thought was exceptional with music. And so I met him and I talked to him, and he's such an unusual composer. He takes cellos and records them in different ways, and he's a very unusual composer, and I wanted that for the movie, this kind of unusual, like almost animalistic sound to the score. So very, very excited about his future and his life as a film composer.
Who's coming?
You're not gonna like it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hi, Taiwan. I'd love it if you could go see Split. It's a movie that I really, really love and really loved working on, and hopefully it will keep you on the edge of your seat.
Hi, everybody in Taiwan. I'm M.Night Shyamalan. I hope you guys go see Split, coming to theaters soon. I think you're gonna really love it. But if there's any secrets that you hear, shh.
Yeah, hi, everybody in Taiwan. Hope you enjoy Split when it comes out, whenever. When it comes out soon.
Chinese New Year.
It's coming out Chinese New Year.
Yes.
It comes out Chinese New Year. Go see Split. I hope you like it.